what is going on? All right, so we just pulled into Savannah. We're celebrating Jack's birthday. Happy birthday, Jack. When we go back and rewatch this, we're gonna grab a bite to eat at Shannon and I's favorite restaurant. It's called Husk. The restaurant is phenomenal.
Welcome back to our channel, The Virtual Wholesalers. Today we're coming to you from Savannah. We are actually at my sister's house, and yesterday we came in and we did a lot of touristy stuff. We went on one of the tours and hung out on River Street. It was really cool, but we come here kind of often because my sister lives here. But anyway,
it's awesome.
And it's awesome. It's a beautiful city. So today we decided we're gonna do a video on what is virtual wholesaling. We hear a lot of hype about it. A lot of people are talking about it. It's pretty popular right now. Virtual or remote wholesaling, they're the same thing. And essentially it is just wholesaling a property without having to go to the property or ever walk the property yourself. We've actually virtual wholesaled countless houses in our own market. We're in Jacksonville, Florida. We've done it for years where, you know, we're actually not going to the property at all, and we're able to get it under contract and sell it. Now,
on the phone,
we lock it up over the phone, and then we get it under contract and we sell it to a buyer. And then if you have boots on the ground, they can go to the property for you. So essentially, if you can do that in your own market, you can do that in any other market in the US. One of the biggest questions people will ask about virtual wholesaling is, how do you pick the market to virtual wholesale in?
Picking the market is not rocket science. There's a ton of things that you can do. We typically look for markets that are similar to ours. We're in Jacksonville, Florida. I believe there's like 1.4, 1.5 million. We were looking for markets that had like a similar population as ours, just to get enough lead flow and to have enough houses to actually market to. We have since kind of abandoned that, and now we really just go for any market that seems promising. There's some subscriptions that you can sign up for. One of them is from a guy named Ken Wade. Got a really good product out. It's called Housing Alerts, and you can plug in your market, or you can plug in any market that you're looking for, and it will kind of tell you. He has some nerdy algorithm that is way over my head, but it works. Then it tells you what markets are appreciating, what markets are depreciating, and then the markets that are remaining level. So that is a good resource. Also, I think when you're going to pick a market, you need to get away from the naysayers that are telling you to not virtually wholesale or to not do that. I mean, wholesaling works. Even though I tell you to subscribe to that guy's service, wholesaling works in any market. You know, if you know what you're doing and you can get it done correctly, it really does work in any market. Now,
as long as there's buyers buying in that market, it works, because you're always going to have the sellers that need to sell.
Now, some may be oversaturated and the competition may be super high, and your cost to get a deal may be super high, but that's not to say that wholesaling won't work or virtual wholesaling won't work. Picking your market, just don't overthink it. Like, you can analyze a market to death and talk yourself out of it. I mean, everybody knows about analysis paralysis. At one point, you just have to hit send on your marketing, either mail it out, cold call, or do whatever you have to do, and literally it's to cross your fingers and hope that you get a good response rate. There is no science to this. The science is you have to pick up and get out there and put yourself out there and let people know that you are actually looking to buy houses in the area. Also think that when you are entering a new market, that doesn't mean you buy every single lead in the market and throw all your money behind it and go for it. Like, that's not what I'm saying. You need to look for the highest performing zips in that market. So you send out your marketing and you see what type of response rate you're going to get. That way you're not blowing through all your savings or all through your entire marketing budget on a market that's oversaturated, or that you're not the type of marketing that you're doing is not necessarily going to be the one that works in that area. We can tell pretty much immediately, either postcards, cold call, whatever you choose to do. You know, if somebody is like, take me off your list, you asshole, you sent 50 letters to me, or you guys have called me 1,000 times, I'm going to kill your mother, obviously that market's oversaturated. You know, we would probably like regroup and figure out maybe this isn't going to be the best market for us. Again, I would still say you could probably still push forward. There are definitely still deals in markets that people are responding like that. We get them in our own market.
You would just have to expect a higher cost to close.
Correct. Yeah. We get it in our own market. People are telling us that all the time. We still close plenty of deals in our own home market. So I'm not saying that should be the end all be all to choosing whether or not you should go.
Our goal for virtual wholesaling is to find markets that it costs less to get a deal and it's a little easier. That's our whole goal with virtual wholesaling.
Not a little.
It's not to go into a market that's more competitive.
Why would anybody, if wholesaling can be done anywhere in the United States of America, from anywhere, why in the world would you want to go to the most competitive markets in wholesale? I personally, I don't know why. There are people that do it, and there's people that really make a ton of money doing it, but they also have big fat budgets and a bunch of money pumping in behind it. If that's not you, I would not personally suggest doing that, but that's just my own personal opinion. You have to make your own decision in your own life and how much money you have saved in order to get a deal. So another question we get all the time is how do you find the sellers, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just like any other market that you're in or the home market that you're in.
You don't want to overthink virtual wholesaling. Everyone, when they hear virtual, they just think, how am I going to do that in a different market? And the answer is you're going to do it exactly how you're doing it in your own market. You're just going to do it in a different market.
I think that when you're thinking like that, your mind is problem oriented and not solution oriented. If you're already thinking that it's going to be hard, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be hard. You know, you need to go into a market and you need to do virtual wholesaling and think, I'm going to be able to do this. No matter what problem comes up, I'm going to be able to find a solution, fix it. We depend on ourselves and our own minds, and I'm pretty confident that any market that we go in, we can find a solution and we can fix the problem. Like that, I'm not even thinking when I go into a market like, oh, is this going to work? What if this happens? What if that happens? I don't care about that. I just go for it when it does happen, because it is inevitable. Things are going to come up and you're going to have to fix something. We solve it at that point, and we have enough confidence in our own ability, and you should definitely have enough confidence in your own ability as well, that you can solve a problem. Don't automatically make a problem when there's not a problem there.
Absolutely. And that's what stops a lot of people from doing it. Back to actually finding the sellers though, it's just like you do in your own market. Do the same marketing you're doing in your own market, do it in a different market. And like Adam said, do a sample. You know, you don't want to go in full force. You want to do some research.
Test the market.
You want to test the market. You can go to ListSource and pull the cash sales that are coming up in that market and pull the 4 top zip codes for cash sales and mail those first. Test it and see what kind of results you're getting.
I mean, there's any list source that you currently use is the same list source that you're going to use in another market. If you were to physically move your body to the other market, you would do the exact same process. There's nothing different in virtual wholesaling than regular wholesaling in your own city. So
how do you find buyers in your virtual market? Again, just like you find buyers for the market you're in.
You follow the theme here. None of this is super complicated. It's the exact same thing that you're doing now. You have to get out of your own way. I think most people are just in their own way. If you can get out of your own head, believe in yourself, and do things the way that you do them now, you will find buyers. I mean, go on any Facebook group in your market or any Facebook group anywhere about wholesaling, type in the virtual city that you're looking for, say I'm looking for cash buyers in this area, and then there's going to be a bunch that come to the top. You can also search those Facebook groups. You don't actually have to type that subject into your post. You can, if you don't know how to search within a Facebook group to find out what you're looking for, you should Google it. I promise you it is a game changer. Rather than having to wait for somebody to answer you, you can actually go in the search bar, type in what you're looking for, and all the posts that have anything to do with that
other people have posted.
Yes, which I can promise you, there's already been somebody that posted what you're going to post. Most people are posting the question, you know, they're like the 20th or 30th person posting that question. I can promise you there's a ton of other info that people have already asked about in your market that will come up in your Facebook search.
Majority of the time it'll be like, who is a cash buyer in this area? And serious cash buyers are dropping
semi-serious. Some of them are wholesale.
A lot of them are serious though, and they'll drop their emails. And then at that point you can collect their emails, and when you have a deal, you already have a list built
You can also go the tried and true method of just pulling a cash buyer list, picking up the skip tracing it, and then
cold
calling them and finding out, just having the conversation what they're looking for, like you would do in your normal market.
So that's stuff that we all do in our normal market. So it's not any different when you go to virtual wholesale. You just happen not to be there. You have to network virtually. And for us, we do deals virtually all the time in our market. Our acquisitions manager goes and looks at the houses. We'll sign them up, and at that point it's a virtual deal when we've never gone to the property.
Yeah.
Even though it's right down the road from us.
So finding the buyers is never really the hard part. I think that I do still believe if you find a deal, buyers will come out of the woodwork. But to make your life easier in a new market, you may want to connect with the buyers beforehand, find out exactly what they're paying like you would do in your normal market, find out what they're paying, what side of town they're looking for, what type of house, whether it be a frame, block, whatever. Find out what they're looking for, specifically target those houses for them. You just have to have open dialogue, open communication with your buyers, and it makes your life so much easier. But you really cannot overcomplicate it. You have to pick up the phone and have conversations. It's not hard to talk to people.
So then the next thing I wanted to touch on, I think a lot of people are like, you have a house, how do you actually decide what to offer on it if you're not there to look at it? You have to build some type of team in every market, even in your own market. So one of the best ways to do that virtually is Facebook. Facebook has opened up so many doors for so many people. You'll want to join groups that are real estate investor groups that are within that market. Talk to people, ask people if they're looking to learn wholesaling. There's always people wanting to learn, and that will come and work for you and actually do a really good job because they're interested in wholesaling and they want to learn from you. We've also worked with realtors in other markets that also want to learn wholesaling too, and they're doing the retail side, and so we've built relationships with them and worked with them.
We both personally come from the service industry, so if you have the opportunity to go and visit a market that you're going to invest in virtually, talk to the people. When you go out to eat, talk to the service staff. They're very good at speaking to somebody that they don't know. They can hold a conversation. Most people in the service industry are not introverts. You definitely do not want an introvert to be the person that you are sending out to the house to look at the property. You're going to need somebody that is comfortable speaking in front of somebody that they don't know and about things that they're not super comfortable talking about, because they're going to all be new, whether it be a realtor that's new in that field, service industry, or whoever you hire. Typically the person is going to be new unless you want to partner with somebody that has some experience and you just feed them the lead. But I definitely suggest,
that's a good idea too. Like if you're getting into a market and there's another wholesaler there and you guys become friends and you can work together, that's a whole other side of it. I mean, it would be like probably more of a split and a partnership than it would be you going in by yourself. But a lot of people do that as well. So you have options. You just have to come with the mindset that you do have options and you can find the right people. You can build the right team to make it work in another city when you're not there physically. And then the last thing we really want to talk about is, when is it a good time for you to start virtual wholesaling? And Adam and I personally do not think you should just go into a market virtually at first. I mean, if you're new and you've never wholesaled before and you don't have any type of system down, we personally think you should get a system down first in your own market, with yourself going to the houses and learning how to talk to the sellers, learning how to analyze the houses and the rehab work, and then at that point, once you've done some deals and you have everything churning on a system, at that point we feel that you could go into a virtual market and be very successful.
Yeah, but I'm also, I do 100% believe that, but if that's not your style, do not hold back. I think the best time to start virtual wholesaling was yesterday. I firmly believe Shannon is correct. You should probably have some sort of clue as to what is going on and how the process works, and understand what the process from the beginning to the end looks like before you go to another market. Otherwise, it is going to be super tough because you don't really know the steps. I think that is about it for today, guys. I hope that this video helps you guys. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please give us a like and share this with your friends. And if you have anything that you want to reach out to us about, or you have any questions or something that you would like to see a video on next, please leave it in the comments. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Hey guys, we are at Forsyth Park here in Savannah. If you guys have never been here, they have about 22 squares, or what they consider parks, around the city. This happens to be the largest and the most popular one. The centerpiece being this fountain that is behind us. So
it's a replica of a fountain in Paris.
All right, so there you go. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Also, another fun fact for this video real quick. If you did not know, the oldest city in the state of Georgia, what would you think it is? Right now, because I'm asking you.
I would think Savannah, but what is it?
It is Savannah, but I would have originally thought Atlanta because it's the capital, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's like that.
I thought Savannah.
Nerd over here.